Shorter.
Totally. Now, before we get into the next session, is the energy still on? Are we still feeling hype? I love that, but it was kind of low, no?
Again, are you
No?
guys excited? Are you all enjoying 1B?
All right, before I get into it, remember that we have a networking session today, and you are all invited.
Yes, indeed you are.
It's going to be at the Lebanese restaurant El Mandaloun, which is just behind us, up the stairs. It's going to be from 7 to 8 p.m., so make sure you're there networking and getting to know each other. Next up, we have Gen Z and Fandom.
How Gen Z is changing fandom forever. A solid talk by Meredith Levine, explaining how Gen Z is revolutionizing fandom. Meredith, the stage is yours.
Let's go, Meredith. Woo!
Thank you. Hi, everyone. My name is Meredith Levine. I'm a Fanthropologist. I study fans and fandom. So let's get into it, shall we? We're going to start with a little bit of definitions and defining what it is we're talking about. So who are Gen Z? Gen Z are people born between 1996 and 2010. And based on generational research about Gen Z and how they differ from prior generations like Millennial or Gen X, or future generations like Alphas and Gen Beta, they're currently ages 15 to 28. They're the first digitally native generation. This is a generation that grew up with cell phones, grew up with access to the internet, and this has shaped a lot of how they behave in fandom. They are hallmarked by a little bit of anxiety about the environment, mental health, financial uncertainty. They want a lot of freedom of expression. They want to feel belonging. They want to feel inclusive. They want communities that support those values. And they are at a crossroads because they find social media and internet culture to both be a source of their poor mental health and a vehicle for community. And today we're going to talk about vehicle for community. So definition, when we're talking about fandom, what do I mean when I'm talking about fandom? I mean something very specific. According to Susan Kresnica, who's a researcher in the entertainment landscape, and some research that I got the privilege of working on, we did research about what is universal about the fan experience, no matter what someone is a fan of, and what is different depending on what someone is a fan of. Based on those principles of universality, we learned that fandom is a relationship. Fandom fills social and emotional needs in the everyday lives of fans. And it maps out into this graphic of three things. Social connection. Fandom is a way for an individual fan to participate in a community. This can be a parasocial relationship. This can be an imagined community like the idea of Swifties, or the real relationship of having friends who are Swifties. These can be in fictional relationships, imagining them in scenarios or in fictional works, but there is a social connection element to this. So if you're a sports fan, maybe you got there because your family is a sports fan and it's a way you connect with your family or your friends. Or maybe you're new in town and want to go make new friends. Maybe you adopt a new sports team in order to get that kind of social connection. Fandom is also a vehicle for self-care and emotional regulation in the lives of fans. What does this mean? They use this relationship to an object of fandom to experience a full range of human emotions in a contained way. So when your favorite character in a book or on a TV show dies, that feels real. It's fictional, but it feels incredibly real in the lives of fans. Or when something amazing happens and your team wins. Or you see your favorite creator get to a new level of success. Or if you're in East Asian idol culture, you see them achieve something miraculous at the help of fans that feels like victory. Then you have, so we have that self-care element, a full range of human emotions, and then we saw a lot of this in lockdown, where self-care is also comfort. Fans go back to this object of fandom in order to feel comforted and have something reliable and a reliable relationship in their life. That is all surrounded by identity. Fandom is a proxy for who someone believes they are. And fandom is something that people believe that they are. So if I were to ask you, what are you a fan of? That may tell me something about who you are. I want to differentiate fandom of being a fan and expressing fandom. Those are two different things. Fandom is identity, but fans express themselves, and this expression looks like a relationship. So what does it mean to be a good partner or a good friend? And this is the same thing for what it means to be a good object of fandom in relation with your fans, or a good fan in relation to your object of fandom. So fans interact in a relationship. They want to spend time with what they love, whether this is watching your work, or reading part of the book series that you like, or learning everything they can about what it is that they love. They go on trips to visit. If you're a Disney fan, maybe you've been to a Disney theme park. If your kids are Disney fans, maybe they want you to go to a Disney theme park. So they go on trips to visit and make effort in time and money to maintain that relationship. They like to surround themselves with reminders, the way that you would have family photos up of your loved ones. They have reminders in terms of like swag or merch or things that they've bought to support the object of fandom. They share their loves with others. This is particularly important in the creator community and in brand and marketing, because fans do a lot of legwork to get other people to know and recognize the thing that they love. And sometimes they're critical of what they love. If something is problematic, they are unafraid to talk about it. This is how you wind up with some conflict in fandom. So how do you spot fandom online? Is there a clear object of fandom? Are fans gathering with each other as part of the appeal? Do they not just want to engage with this object of fandom? Do they want to engage with each other? Are people using this as a shorthand for their identity? Are they wearing some sort of merch? Do they refer to themselves as Swifties or Beehive or BTS Army? Is there a language emerging from this community? In fiction, you have shipping culture, which is a lot of portmanteaus of characters you want to be in relationships with each other. Is there jargon? Will these people stick around for years, or is this just a cultural moment? This is a thing I want to distinguish in this room, because we tend to use the word fan to refer to audience. I'm not talking about audience here. I'm talking about people who love things so passionately that they will do a lot for and with these things, and are underserved markets serving themselves. So you see there are a host of images in a collage over here. I want to talk you through them. The first one is from a YouTube comment section. This is one of these signs that I look for when I'm looking for an emerging fandom. I'm actively looking for, is there a fan saying something? Are other fans replying to said fan and building a conversation that is outside of the, like, hey, creator, notice me conversation? So this first one is whatever is driving channels to upload at evening time in Australia. I'm very pleased with this. 21 replies. I'm pretty sure I took this off of a Good Mythical Morning. The next one, Dragonsteel Nexus 2024. This is a dedicated convention for the fans of Brandon Sanderson, who happens to be a prolific fiction author. And so are there events? Are fans actively looking to gather with each other? If not, maybe that's worth testing. If you're like, can I sustain an event as an object of fandom? See if you have enough people to show up and gather with each other. This one is Formula One plushies. I got this off Etsy. I really like Etsy for spotting fandom because it's a sign of cottage industry. Is there enough of a market around something for people to want to make and sell wares about that? This is Google Trends. If you don't use Google Trends, I love it. It's a great tool. This is for ACOTAR. That's the shorthand for a book series called A Court of Thorns and Roses. There has been almost no marketing dollars behind this graph. This is all organic. And this spike, right up here, comes from Book Talk. When this book took off on Book Talk, you start to see search interest rise. This is all fan conversation, no marketing dollars spent. And then I look at Archive of Our Own. And this is fan fiction. These are fan works that fans are making to see, are people creating with the base level IP? So Gen Z and fandom. We know what fandom is. We know how to spot it. What is different about the landscape that Gen Z is inheriting? 86% of Gen Zs are fans of something. 96% of fans use YouTube to consume content relevant to their fandom. So this is where Gen Z and the creator economy comes into play with fandom, especially in today's landscape. Today's landscape is different than the ones that millennials and Gen X inherited. you now have a layer of professional fans. This is a picture of Straw Hat Goofy. Straw Hat Goofy is a fan of Disney and pop culture, and he has made that his livelihood. Several elements in the media landscape had to line up for professional fans to exist. There have been legal barriers of, can you use someone else's copyrighted material? How much of that can you use? How much of that can you say? Means of sustainable monetization. So social platforms now allow people to monetize and become professionals about the thing they love. Were costs of production low enough? In a bygone media environment, it was expensive to make video. It was expensive to publish a newsletter. You had to actually pay for print, pay for pressing, pay for mailing things. That no longer exists. You can get a mailing list and cost of production is very low. Is distribution accessible? Fans can search for what they love on YouTube or any other social platform and find content to consume about what they love made by people who love it, who are professional, and they can ride marketing cycles. So marketing cycles are something that professional fans use to their advantage. If you know a movie's coming out and you know you're going to be a fan of it and you know that marketing dollars are being spent, then that helps these professional fans with their content calendaring to ride the wave of marketing dollars and benefit both in their fandom and in their professional lives. In this landscape, we're also experiencing transnational fandom. It used to be that the media environment had a lot of windowing and distribution deals such that not all content could be accessible everywhere. This is changing quite a bit. Fan culture is now an international experience, which has historically been difficult, but social media has made it very accessible. Streaming media has made it accessible, and AI and inexpensive translation has made it accessible, so that you can be a fan of anything from anywhere. This example is, I think, from KCON in the United States, which is a K-pop convention. K-pop is a really great example of transnational fandom. Previously, if millennials and Gen Xers, if they wanted access to media from Japan or the obscure anime they wanted, someone would have to mail them a VHS or a DVD, and then some fan on the other side would have to watch it and dub it or subtitle it, and then send that along to the rest of the fans, and it was labor intensive. That labor is now gone. We're also seeing fandom and community organizing. Communities shape culture. This example is from Project for Awesome, which is a fundraiser that John and Hank Green do. They are YouTubers in the United States. Fandom, because it is a community and it's part of identity, they are very good at community organizing, and they are very good at making an impact outside of their own object of fandom. So we're starting to see a lot of fandoms fundraise for charity. In the US election, we saw fandoms politically organize. We're seeing changes in financial systems like crowdfunding, and we're seeing fanish modes of expression getting political and vice versa. Politics is looking a little bit more like fandom. Fandom is looking a little bit more like politics. So we're seeing a lot of this emerge in fandom and the current state of it as well. So some takeaways for creators and marketers. Creators, what do you need to know about fandom? This is a two-way street. I said it's a relationship. I mean it's a relationship. Because creators, you would not have your careers if it wasn't for fans, if it wasn't for people who are talking about what you're doing and spending time with what you love, with what they love. So time spent really matters. This often means long-form content. I often say time spent over time. It is harder to develop fandom in an intermittent rewards variable, algorithmically generated shorts feed than it is in longer form content, because fans want to spend time with you. And if the environment limits how much time they can spend or doesn't provide access reliably, that gets much more difficult. So this means podcasting, live streaming, long-form video, newsletters, things that fans can rely on and consume with a lot of time. For creators, it's depositing into the bank of trust. You're in a relationship with your fandom. And so that means it's not constantly asking them for stuff. It's not constant CTAs. It is delivering on what you say you're going to deliver, and then some. It's getting to know your audience so you know what they want. And you can super serve them. It's allowing fans to play with what you make. Remix, fan art, cottage industries. Fans want to participate. And So sometimes this means turning on functions like remix. Sometimes this means acknowledging behaviors like fan art, that if you want to see this come from your fans, spotlight it. Reward the fans who are doing the behaviors that you actively want to see more of. I often get questions about toxic fandom and that sort of stuff. My antidote to that is reward and spotlight the fans who are doing the things that you really love and appreciate as a creator. For marketers, how do you engage with fandoms? Figure out what communities already align with your brand values. This is where influencer marketing comes in and stuff like that. When objects of fandom have these communities, if you're a marketer looking to reach audiences through fandoms, find the ones that align, because they're proxies for identity, community, self-care. What kind of identities are they communicating with this fandom? They're going to be different depending on the object of fandom. Build long-term relationships. Fandom is a long-term thing. Audience, short-term. Audience can be a moment. Fandom, because people incorporate it into their identity, it's a long-term thing, so have long-term relationships. Show and support community growth. Help create opportunities for fans to get closer with their object of fandom. Can you help them meet their creators? Can you help them achieve some sort of fanish goal? And then support the creation of professional fans of your brand. You can be any brand, and any brand can have fans if you understand this relationship. Thank you. I'm Meredith, Fanthropologist. That's my email address. If you have any questions, feel free and reach out. Thanks.
Thank you, Meredith. Gen Z really is shaking up how we see fandom.
Yes, it is. So, you're all invited to a special economy track networking session tonight from 7 to 8 p.m. that is open to all ticket holders. It's a Lebanese restaurant, Al Mandaloon, which is just behind us, up that stairs, just literally up that stairs, and you just turn right and the restaurant will be in front of you. So, let's talk metric next.
Before we do that, I feel like the energy levels are low, and we have Nicola moderating the session next. We need to hype it up. Are we excited in here? That was good.
No, I don't think so. You're excited.
We need to be more excited. Are we excited up in here? I love it.
That's what we like to hear.
Moderated by Nicola Sokolow, founder and CEO at Influencers.club, he and Chris Harrington, CEO of Creator IQ, will explore today's metrics for brands and creators. Nicola, we're listening. Give it up for Nicola!